I think it was just kind of gradual, kind of 17.4, 17.6, kind of one step at a time type of thing. I think probably the largest gap I covered was in 90. I had actually plateaued for a while. A couple of years I thought about giving it up and just going to get a job. This was after my master's and things like that. I jumped 18 feet once in 97, hadn't got back to that for a couple of years. And then 99, I thought, well, I'm going to hang it up. And then one of my good friends was training down in Arkansas at Bell Athletics. And he said, just come down, spend a couple times, see if you like it. So I drove down once a month or so and did a little training, and then by that February I'd actually qualified for the Olympic trials, jumped to PR 18.4 here in the Dome, actually qualified for the trials, and that's kind of where I thought, okay, maybe we're heading in the right direction again. I think at some point you kind of reach what you're capable of doing, and I think it's a little bit of a scary line to figure out where that is. Sometimes you think, well, I think I got a little bit more. I probably can't jump 19.8, but I think I can jump 19.4 even at my age. So I feel like that's part of something you have to do as an athlete anyway. You got to continue to try to push and say, I can get a couple more inches, I can get a couple more inches. So every year it's been up doing that, but at some point it slows down and you got to kind of roll with it a little bit, you know. I jumped my highest jump, 19.2 in 2005, and took some bunch of shots at 19.4 along the way over the next 4 years, but didn't hit 19.2 again until 2008. So I think you kind of get those spikes in your career, but at the same time, you kind of feel like, okay, I'm working on some things that could produce more results in the end. So I think I wouldn't come out every day and jump if I didn't feel like I could jump higher. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't be worth it. But at the same time, it's becoming a more detailed analysis of how to do that. You know, it used to be, I just run a little harder, I just be a little stronger, I'll be fine. Now I got to figure out how to actually work the pole a little bit higher, because I'm not going to get a whole lot faster, I'm not going to get a whole lot stronger at 38. The meets that I'm jumping at, you got the Olympic champion, you got the #1 guy in the world, and they're jumping 19.6. So to win, I'm going to have to PR by 4 inches, and at that high, that's pretty expensive real estate. So my goal is to go in there, and my personal goal is still to jump what I think I'm capable of jumping, or even higher. So if I go in and say, you know what, I really want to jump 19 feet today, and then I want to take good shots at 19.4, I don't really care where that place is. I mean, I'm still competitive because I don't want to lose. I mean, there's that side of the coin, but the other side of the coin is I have to be realistic in how I get to that goal. If I can go in and jump 19.4, then I know I'm going to be somewhere in the top 1, 2, and then it's just a battle from there. At the end of the day, when you leave, if you haven't won, you're still pretty aggravated. I think that's what keeps us all coming back and keeps us competitive. So,
is there too much emphasis on the Olympics from the outside perspective to people? Is that all they focus on?
Maybe to some extent, but rightfully so, because it's exciting, you know? I mean, it's the Olympics. It's World Championships. They happen every year. It's the same group of people, and it's the same competitive marks, but something that only comes around 4 years is something that's a little bit more exciting, and it's something you can get behind. I mean, there's still a United States team, but when you think of it from the Olympic standpoint, it's like, okay, we're going to watch everything. I'm going to watch gymnastics. I'm going to watch this, and it's so many sports coming together, which I think makes it more exciting. My goal is to be competitive. I want to go out, and if I can't be competitive with the rest of the world, and I can't live up to my own expectations, then I need to move on. So as long as I feel like I'm jumping 19 feet and I'm in the mix with the best in the world, then it's enjoyable for me. So as long as my body can continue to do that and I can continue to learn and still evolve, I'm still figuring things out about my jump now after 20 years of pole vaulting, which is kind of exciting as long as you have new things to work on. 2012, if I can be competitive and remain doing what I've done the last few years, then you know, I'll be committed and excited about it. But staying healthy and being able to be competitive are the two things that I want to make sure at the end of this year that I can continue to do. And then if that's the case, then I'll commit to the next year. This 2012 will be my 4th Olympic trials. So that's exciting to be a part. It's kind of something I want to put, you know, a notch on my belt. But coaching has become a really important part of my life and something I really enjoy. And it's hard to prioritize sometimes. It used to be easy. It used to be pole vault, that's my thing, and then I kind of help and coach a little bit. And now it's becoming a little bit more of an integral part of who I am, and not just, you know, pole vaulting is almost becoming there are times where I'll spend all day coaching the kids, and I haven't even started my workout yet. And it dawns on me that, wow, I should have done something today for myself before I did 6 hours of coaching. So, and with recruiting the young kids that are coming out, we've got some great talent that's going to be here next year. We feel like that's more of an importance for me to be here and be coaching, and those kids are making decisions with their lives that depend on, you know, what I do. So that's kind of been my shift. So it's kind of over time, I'm still not going to completely put that in the closet yet. You know, I'm going to go hard and compete hard, but indoor season, I may not do as many meets as I usually do. I may only go overseas for 4 or 5 days, and that's it. And then the rest of the time, I'm training for outdoors.
Number one in the United States, you're top 5 in the world year after year. Is this kind of a humble setting for somebody that's in that lofty position, do you think?
You know, I don't know if I look at it that way because I've been here for forever, you know, other than I came here in '91, and other than about a 6-year stint where I lived in Arkansas and trained down there, Vermillion's been my home. You know, I'm kind of humbled to be here, that people have allowed me to stick around and train and support me. And there's not many places in the country where athletes that are post-collegiate can come back to their spots and train, because those coaches and those programs are concerned about making sure that they have programs now that are competitive at the NCAA level, and they don't care about post-collegiates. That's kind of nice, and it's a frill on the recruiting page or whatever, but their focus is, you know, other things. Where here, I think it's because it's a smaller area and there really is that family feel to it, that, you know, everybody's supportive of me being able to continue to do things in the sport that are kind of exciting and fun, and hopefully they contribute to our program in some way. But primarily, it's a great spot to be. It's got everything I need. There's no reason to go anywhere. I could go anywhere. I could train at the Olympic Training Center with the rankings, or I could train in Arkansas. I've done that too, and you know, this is a good fit. I still doesn't mean I don't go out to catch things that I need to. I was in Arkansas last week training with Earl Bell and working on some technical things, and I bring that stuff back here and I do my training for the next cycle and then go back down there again. So I'm back and forth, but those are the 2 spots that I think that produced over the last 10 years consistent performances, allowing me to stay competitive with the rest of the world. So you got to stick with what works and kind of play around the things that you think make you better along the way.